Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Welcome in, welcome in. Paul here, and I'll be your DM for a little while. And I'm excited to bring to you the Monday evening, the Monday. I don't even know what day it is. The Monday Mayhem weekend recap. That's what I'm here for, is to share with you what I'm doing over the weekend, to kind of share my gaming stuff, because I think it's important to share what I'm learning, because I have not learned everything. And so as I learn some new tricks, some new ideas, I like to pass them on to you. And so if you're going to be jumping in, feel free to ask any questions about what I'm running, or about the games I'm doing, or Dungeon Master tips if you need those kind of things. And so I'm excited to just hang out with you all for a little while tonight. And be sure to tell me where you're either coming from or where you are, what you're playing. Love to hear that. And then I have some other things, just a few updates that I have that are going to be coming up soon. I asked a question in the community section. You're welcome to go answer that. But I think I've solved this dilemma of the top 10. I think I got it down to 17 minutes. The dilemma I had was I was going to do a top 10 video, and I said it was going to take me about 4 minutes per thing. I said, no, I can't do that. And what I had done was I accidentally added on my intro time to the actual video, and I said, oh, that's why it's 4 minutes. So clearly not going to be, I thought it was going to be like a 40-minute video. And I was like, would you watch a 40-minute video, or would you watch 10 4-minute videos? My guess is you're going to say 10 4-minute videos, but you're welcome to let me know what you think over there in the community section as to what you'll do, because that lets me know going forward too. It's like, what kind of videos do I need to do here? Do they need to be super long form, or are you happy with like the 10 4-minute deals? And then I got my package in today. I got my Kickstarter package from Cobalt Press. And I'll be going over, I'll show you just part of it here, is I got the Deep Magic Volume 1 and 2, and I'm going to be going through that. So let me know what you are interested in as far as that goes, and I'll be happy to show you those things. And so I have a couple of things. In fact, I got something else in the mail today. I won't go into that, but just know that videos are coming. They may be coming in fast and furious, but you know what? It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. All right, so I want to talk about, like I said, the games that I am playing. I am, for those that don't know, I've been a professional Dungeon Master now for about 5-6 years, and I'm also a therapeutic Game Master, which means I lend my services, my gaming services, to therapists or social workers to do that type of gaming. With groups, especially with teenagers. And I've been running an after-school D&D program with a social worker friend of mine who invited me in to participate and run an 8-week game. I'm playing with them Dragon of Stormwreck Isle, and that is going very well. And we call ourselves, I made a little booklet here called Questers. And that is the name of our group. And I just had these. I just made this in Canva, and then wound up just printing it off and giving it to them. And it's got their notes in it. I don't think there's any. Yeah, well, that's okay. I just they can write their notes in there if they want, and that becomes a little notebook for them. And they'll take that away with them when they leave after the 8 weeks. And in this particular part of the adventure, there was a lot of great things going on. They find themselves in these in the Seagrow caves, I want to call them, and they are trying to track down Mira's brother, and so ultimately I'm trying to get them to the end of the game where they're going to face a blue dragon, and I'm excited about that. But before I get there, I have to resolve their decisions and their choices. As middle school students sometimes have a hard time doing, is making these decisions and choices, or rather maybe they're really good at it. They're just really good at making the wrong ones at different times, which is all part of the deal. See, for me, it's all about students. I would rather these students be hyper and talking and chatting and wanting attention, rather than sitting there like lumps where I have to try to draw energy out of them. I would much rather have the energy already going on and then just kind of, mold it and shape it and direct it as it needs to go. And this past week, they had some challenges. They had some challenges because they were on there. There was some drama, I think, going on outside of the game, which resulted in some of them being on their phones. Now, I'm not offended by that. I'm not offended by them being on their phones. This is an after-school program. They're not paying for it. They're coming as a free will deal because they want to be involved. And so my approach to that is, if they're on their phones, what I'll cover in this next session with them is that I will ask them, I'll say, hey guys, I noticed in our last session, you guys were on your phones quite a bit. Are you guys becoming disinterested in this game? Because if you are, I can shorten it. I can shorten the game to, I can, we can resolve it next week. If you guys are done, if you feel like this is no longer fun or exciting for you. And I know in my heart, I can put that forward to them because I've built enough trust with them that I don't really think they want the game to end, but I need to make them aware that I'm aware that I see them kind of checking out sometimes. And the goal isn't to make them feel bad about being on their phones. The goal is to have them further engaged in the game so that they can make choices, learn things, and things like that. And so I'm going to present that to them. And it's not a bad thing, by the way. As a DM, it's not a bad thing to ask the question. It's not like, hey, you guys, get off the, I worked hard on this game and, you guys are all on your phones and I don't feel like running this anymore. That's not a great approach to it. The best approach is to ask them and get feedback from them and say, look, are you guys disinterested? Are we done? And that may be a great question really for any group, because if you're seeing more people on their phones and they're less engaged, there may be something going on with them personally. Like that was with them. That was like I said, some inner drama that was happening. Or it could be, that a person is just disengaged themselves for whatever reason. Or it could be that, yes, that maybe the adventure has grown a little stale. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with asking those questions, and I'm not offended by that because I know I need to figure out my role in this and helping them to stay engaged. It's not their fault they're disengaged. It's my fault if I'm not helping them to engage. So I take the burden of that. And in this particular part, that's just one piece of the puzzle that was happening this past week. The other part was they're getting low on hit points, and I don't think they quite recognize the danger that they're in because they're still quite cavalier, and they're going to encounter. They're like down to 4 hit points each, and they're going to discover very quick. Now they've all been given 1 healing potion. None of them have decided to take it yet for whatever reason. So at the beginning of the game of the next session, I'll say, hey, you guys, don't forget, you guys all have a healing potion. Does anybody want to take that healing potion now that you've defeated, this nasty thing that you just had to defeat? Does anybody feel like they want to take it now? Now, I've had other, some other players who gave theirs away. They actually, there's a really cool backstory. There's a kid in the group who wrote like a 3-page backstory. Whose mom helped him write the backstory. And I thought that was so fascinating. I thought that was so much fun that here's a mom and a son working on a backstory to a character in a game and really bringing them together. Not that they weren't close before, but I find it a really cool thing that they are engaging with each other to do something fun like this together. And it's such a well-written backstory that I have to compliment him next time I see him, because I'm wondering, how does that play into this adventure? Could it play into this adventure? I don't have an idea for that yet, but I'm going to think on that. But this young man's character is really was called to help monsters. He doesn't want to slay monsters. He'd rather help them. He'd rather protect them. He sees himself as a protector of monsters. So when he was approached, or when he was having to confront the octopus, the kind of the fungi octopus that's been poisoned by stuff that's going on inside the sea caverns and things like that, he didn't want to attack the octopus. He says, I give it my healing potion. He only had one, and he gave it to him, and it actually did good for him. It did something good for the octopus, which had him in his grip at the moment and was going to possibly do something terrible if the attitude was, we're just going to fight monsters. Because I think that's what they're learning. At least that's what I hope they're learning, that not everything that they come up against is their enemy. Not everything that their only tactic isn't just fighting or drawing their sword. That they can negotiate, they can find out more information. And that's a skill that a lot of young people need, that not everybody is their enemy, and that their first response to things is not always attack. It's, I need more information before I make a decision or before I respond. And that requires patience and self-control and all those kind of things. And that's my hope of what they're gaining from this. But this young man, like I said, gave away his healing potion and wound up healing the octopus a little bit, and is now going to hopefully go inside, and they're going to resolve what's happening with this poison and toxicity that's happening inside with the mushroom people, and all that will get resolved. But once again, this is my first time running an after-school program with there's 6 students that are playing, plus our social worker. And the social worker kind of hangs back. She doesn't get involved as much, but she is present, and she does, involve sometimes, which is great. But she's allowing the students to take most of the decision making, which is really good, versus somebody who comes in maybe and rallies them and tries to make them, do things. It's not really helping them to make all the decisions for them. Rather, she's hanging back and allowing them to make the decisions, which I think is great. And so I'm learning in the process of working with this particular group of teenagers how I need to respond. Forget about what they're learning. Yeah, I hope they're learning that, but there's things I'm learning, like I have to be patient. I have to let it play out. I can't be offended by, cell phones and other things. That's not going to bother me. I'm going to stay on course and help them to move back into something. Hopefully that's something that they enjoy. So when I come back to them in the next session, I say, hey guys, notice you guys were on your phone. I hope nothing's wrong or bad or those things, but I will ask them whether or not, whether they're getting tired or bored. I said, I can shorten this adventure to 2 weeks and then we're done. And I don't think they'll say they want it to cut short. I think you have to trust the fact that they want to participate, but sometimes their phones will hijack, or drama will hijack their attention for a short period of time, and then they'll be back into the gameplay. And so I have to then do my knobs and levers and things like that to help them regain their interest. And so I'm looking forward to that with them. And like I said, they've done a great job thus far, and we have about 3 more weeks left. I believe 3 after this Thursday, so it'll be 4 weeks. 4 weeks left, and then we're going to celebrate. We're going to have a feast. We're going to feast, and we're going to have pizza and all the things and celebrate the end of the adventure, regardless of whether, people, whether their characters, have passed from this life. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But like I said, they're not paying attention. They're not paying attention. And that's another skill you have to do. You have to pay attention to what's going on. Otherwise, you miss things. So hopefully we'll get all that resolved in our next session. Now, the second game that I ran, that was last Thursday, and then I ran a game for my Friday night friends, and these are Friday night friends who I've been gaming with for years, many of them for the past 40 years actually. And so we are just gaming away, and we've been playing Esper Genesis, which is a sci-fi edition, science fiction version of 5e. And I will show you, let me go ahead and show you here, and let me bring this up here. I will show you, let's see here, I'm going to show you what this is. Let's go to that, and then let's go to that. There we go. So this is my Discord, and I'm going to show you, let me go first to go first to this. This is our my Roll20, and this is where we're at in this game, which is let's see, it is called Viral. Where is it at here? Yes, Viral Fallout. And even with my players that I've been playing with for 40 years, I still try to make things interesting for them. And the thing that stood out to me about this particular game, and it was really a compliment, and it was really fun because they were having to break into this warehouse. They're in a even though it's science fiction, they're in a not a super technological town. In fact, this city has been decimated because of a viral technology that breaks the land up and causes earthquakes and things that are going on. And so technology is down. It's very much old world. And the best way I could describe it to them was it was basically like Escape from New York, where there was a little bit, of the technology element that Snake Plissken brought in with him, but everything else pretty much low-key technology. And we're seeing some of that play out because now they're actually in the facility where they're supposed to be. But the way they approached it was a lot of fun. How they decided how they were going to get in, who was going to go from which direction. And one of the players said, but this is just like an A-Team episode. There was no greater compliment to me than for them to say this is playing out like an A-Team episode. Yes, thank you. That is awesome. And they also got this is where they're experiencing, where I'm playing the villains to their maximum potential, where they get to throw grenades. Well, I'm throwing grenades too, and things are getting blown up. They're losing hit points, and they're going to have to judge their decisions as well. And my guys like this episodic type of playing. I don't know if they care as much about the immersion part. Maybe they do. I don't know if I've ever really asked them the question, but they are enjoying what we're doing, where they're enjoying the fact that they're getting to play these characters, that they're facing different challenges and so forth. But the fact that these guys are really all tacticians. They're thinking about things. And that's not to say that they're not good at role play, because many of them are very good. They're all good at role play at some degree. But they're all very much tacticians in thinking how they're going to do something and how they're going to do those things. And I can appreciate that about how they play. And so, like I said, this is kind of where they're at. They're in the main hub here of what they're trying to do. And they're trying to get this signal that Zephyr Corp, which is the corporation they're kind of fighting against now. And they got to get this out of the city because this signal is what's causing all the chaos. And once they deal with that, then the city maybe has a shot. But it's, you're talking about 100 years for it to advance, any more than what it is. And so they are having a good time. Now, something I did that may be of interest to you, I will show you the Discord. What I did with the Discord, you heard me mention that it was like Escape from New York. Well, in this particular, instance, let me see if I can find where I'm looking for. Nope, that's not what I want. This is what I want. So on my Discord, when we go and I do video in there, I downloaded some sounds from these are little movie quotes from Escape from New York. And so when players would do some things that I thought were funny, that I would go ahead and play. Like example, when they're ready to go or roll out, I'd play this.
Warm up the choppers, we're moving in.
Warm up the choppers, we're moving in. Or if they did, like if they got a great kill or something like that, I would play this. Or if I think a villain, is getting a one-up on them, I might play something like this. So having these little sound effects You may say, well, Paul, doesn't that break immersion? Well, once again, I don't think my players are particularly interested in in complete immersion. They like that beer and pretzels feel of the game. And so I try to do little fun things like that, just to kind of. It also helps keep their attention a little bit. It may break some of the immersion, but it also keeps their attention as to what's going on and queuing them up and things like that. And I don't do this with everybody. I'm doing this with, of course, my group that I've been gaming with for 40 years. If I knew a group well enough and that was their style of play, I would do that, but I would not necessarily bring that into a game where, that's not the game they want to play. But my players that I've been playing with now for a while, they're fine. They'll be just okay dandy. So nothing to worry about that. But like I said, I got those from. I'll put some links down below where you can get these from. Now I had to edit these because some of them they have little commercials at the end of them. But I wound up editing them, uploading them, and then using them as part of the soundboard in Discord. So let's go head back over. Let's head back over here. Where am I at? There we go. And so yeah, those are the games of last week. I have a game this weekend. I'm getting back together with. Let me see if I can find it here. Yep, right here. Voyage of the Fallen Star. I had a great game with these guys a few weeks ago, beginning of the month. So I'm going to be playing Voyage of the Fallen Star with them. That's getting interesting. Maybe some more players involved here. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm still going to try, and if I got to do it Halloween night, I don't know. I'm still going to try. I've been trying for, I don't know, probably 7 years, probably to run Death House from Curse of Strahd, just because for my own self, because I want to run it. It's fun. Do it on Halloween. So I may try like a Monday night game or maybe a Sunday night game. I don't know. But if that's of interest to you, if you say, hey, Paul, I would love to play that kind of game so close to Halloween, I think that'd be cool. Then leave me a comment down below. And then also, if you are interested in all in, like I said, gaming, and you don't mind paying for a game, then hey, I'm going to put all the links down below and you can check that out for yourself. If you want to get a group together, play together, and have me as your DM, would love to do so. But that is it for tonight. Any questions you may have, if there's anything that you watch and you say, Paul, I have a question about this, well, then leave it down in the comments and I will go ahead and either make a video about it or respond to it, or cover it in next Monday's Monday Mayhem. So, but that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you for hanging out for a while. Appreciate you being a part here today. And if you are not a subscriber yet, be sure to go and click that thumbs up button. That tells me you like the video and want more of them. And click the subscribe button, and that way you'll get videos like this in your inbox on a regular basis. So, but that's it, guys. Thanks for joining me for Monday Night Mayhem, and I'll catch you guys next Monday. Talk to you later. Have a good one, everybody.